Hello. Today I'm going to be making my 2012 NFL Week 12 predictions, and it's Thanksgiving today, and I'm excited to eat some good food. Um, we start out with the three Thursday games on Thanksgiving here, and we'll start out here with the Houston Texans at the Detroit Lions. For me, this will be a good game because you have the Houston Texans coming in at 9-1, facing in my opinion, a good Detroit Lions team that's just been struggling this year, and it's gonna be tough for Houston to win because they're playing at Detroit, and I think that the Texans come away with a close victory, but I will go with the Texans on this one. I just think it's a little bit too much Arian Foster and Andre Johnson for the Lions defense to handle. But I do think that Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson will have a big game on offense for the Lions. But I'll go with the Texans in a shootout. Next game is the Washington Redskins at the Dallas Cowboys. Another really good game because Tony Romo's been really good on Thanksgiving actually, and that's pretty much the only day he has been good on because Tony Romo is notorious for not being a very good quarterback, but he has been very good on Thanksgiving because he's thanking his Dallas faithful for him being there, him being in Dallas. So I think I'll play well. But RG3 plays for the Washington Redskins, and that's why I'm going to go with the Redskins on a very close game. Maybe even in the overtime, they'll come down to the last couple seconds. I think that RG3 is just going to light it up. I really do. I don't think it's going to be too much for him, on prime time, not prime time, but on television, everybody's going to be watching him. But it's not too much for RG3. He's had the spotlight on him, throughout his whole career in college, and now in the pros. So I will take the Redskins in a close game in Dallas. Next game is the Patriots at the Jets. This is it's gonna be a good game. It is in New York, so I think that the Jets can hold it close. And Rex Ryan, I bet you has these guys feeling confident because it's just what he's good at. Rex Ryan is, in my opinion, one of the worst coaches in the league just because of the way he coaches, and I just don't like Rex Ryan. But I do think that the Jets defense will be able to hold close to Tom Brady in that offense. I don't think they're going to get a win. I will go with the Patriots, but I think the Jets will be able to, stop some of their attacks on rushing, and I think they'll be able to limit Wes Welker a little bit and stop those screen passes like they did earlier. I think it was Week 7 when they played. So I will go with the Patriots in a close game. Next game is the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears, and this is the first of the Sunday games. I'll go with the Bears on this one unless Campbell plays. Campbell's just, I don't know. It was pretty much a mixture of their offensive line, the 49ers defense, and then Jason Campbell just sucking it up. So I'll go with the Bears. I think Cutler will play. But if he doesn't, I still think the Bears might be able to win. It'll be a close game if he does not play. I think it'll be a close game no matter what. But I will go with the Bears regardless. Next game is the Oakland Raiders at the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Raiders haven't won a game on Eastern Time Zone in about 3 years, and the Bengals are playing better and better every week. I'll go with the Bengals. Next game is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns, and I don't know. I have a couple upsets on here. I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns. They play the Steelers well, and it's at home. Ben Roethlisberger is not playing. Charlie Batch is starting, and I like the Browns in this one. I think they'll win a close game, and I think that dog pound will be fired up down there in Cleveland. I'll go with the Browns. Next game is the Buffalo Bills at my Indianapolis Colts, and I'm gonna go with the Colts. They had a tough game last week at New England. So I did pick the Colts to win, so that's the way we're playing. The one thing I did like what the Patriots did there is they up about, I think it was like 3 or 4 touchdowns or passing the ball with 3 minutes left. That was very unsportsmanlike, and on that last kick, on the last extra point, Gronkowski broke his wrist and he is out. I'm not saying that he deserved that, but I'm saying that it's karma right there, and I think as a team they deserve that, just not Gronkowski. Next game is the I will go with the Colts on this one. I think that the Colts rebound from a tough loss, as I said, and I think Andrew Luck plays so much better at home, and that's why I think that he'll be able to, I don't think he'll put up more than 30 points. I think he'll put up around 28, 24 points against this Buffalo defense. They're not the greatest, but they're not bad either. And I see Ryan Fitzpatrick turning the ball over a couple times as the Colts are starting to do a little bit more. I'll go with the Colts. Next game is the Broncos and the Chiefs, and the Broncos are one of the most dominant teams in the AFC. and the NFC, and they're according to SportsCenter, they are the favorites to win the Super Bowl 9-2, and they're facing a Chiefs team that just they're horrific, and I'll go with the Broncos easily on this one. Next game is the Seattle Seahawks at the Miami Dolphins. I think this will be a good game because Seattle, they play so great at home, but they just play decent away. And it'll be tough to beat Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphins, but I will go with the Seahawks because I like the way they're playing right now, and I think Russell Wilson's able to squeak out a win there in Miami. Next game is the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I said that I think they make the playoffs. They're playing at home. They're playing really, really well right now. I think it'll be another really good game, but I think the Buccaneers will be able to limit Matt Ryan just a little bit, enough to give Josh Freeman a shot to really put up some points. I think he'll put up about 30 points. I think the win is about 31-28, somewhere around that range. No more than a 7-point game here between these two teams. I think they're both good teams, and I think that the Buccaneers are playing really well, as well as the Falcons, but I think the Buccaneers are at home. I go with the Buccaneers. Next game is the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars played really well against the Texans last week. The Jaguars are still one of the worst teams in the league. And I think the Titans really, they showed that they're still, an average team as they dominated the Dolphins last week, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me. But I think the Titans will get a W here. I think they're able to, even though it's in Jacksonville, I think that Jake Locker will play well enough to put some points on the board and defeat Jacksonville. Go with the Titans. Next game is the Baltimore Ravens at the San Diego Chargers. This is a good game here because the Chargers, they feel like, they know that they pretty much can win the division. They're basically 4 games back because they lose a tiebreaker to the Broncos after that loss to Peyton Manning in Denver. But they're 4-6 right now, and they still have a chance to get into the wild card. But they'll have to win pretty much the rest of their games to get in, or at least they can't do any worse than 9-7. And I think that the Baltimore Ravens are playing really, really well, and I go with the Baltimore Ravens on this one. I like the way Joe Flacco's playing. Their offense is really stepping up without Ray Lewis there, so I will go with the Ravens. Next game is the San Francisco 49ers at the New Orleans Saints, and Colin Kaepernick is starting, which really surprised me. I think that was a bad decision. I know he played really, really well, but Alex Smith is the guy that got you there. He got you to the NFC Championship last year. He gets injured. Colin Kaepernick has one good game, which is a good defense, and he's your quarterback. I think you give it back to Alex Smith. He said John Harbaugh said he wanted to go with the hot hand, but in my opinion, I think you still got to go with Smith. Regardless, you do go with Colin Kaepernick versus the Saints defense, who's pretty bad. This might be the toughest game for me to pick. Just because the Saints are at home, I'll go with the Saints in a very, very close game. I think it'll be a very high-scoring game, but I think the Saints are able to just pull out a victory because they're playing really, really well right now, and I just like the Saints in this game. Next game is the St. Louis Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know what happened to the Rams last year versus the Jets. They didn't play good at all. So I'm still going to have to go with the Rams against this Cardinals team just because they're not playing well at all. But there's not much to say about this game. I just think that the Rams are able to pull out a close victory, and I will go with the Rams. Next game is the Green Bay Packers at the New York Giants, and I think the Giants are going to win this game. I think that they're going to prove, everybody's, all these critics, saying, what's wrong with the Giants? What's wrong with Eli Manning's arm? But I think that they're going to, silence a lot of that because whenever the Giants are put under pressure, whenever they're criticized a lot, they always seem to step up. And this is a game to step up against. You have to beat the Green Bay Packers, but they are at home. And that's why I think the New York Giants will win a really, really good game here. I think Eli Manning will play really well. I think so will Aaron Rodgers. They call it a big game. He'll throw 2 or 3 touchdowns. But I'll go with the New York Giants in a very, very close game. And the last game is a Monday Nighter with 2 terrible teams who nobody expected to be this bad. 3-7 and 2-8. Carolina Panthers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Cam Newton versus Nick Foles, it looks like. And I go with the Panthers just because the Eagles, they pretty much have no hope. I mean, none of the Panthers they know they can't get in either, but they still play they still play to win. And it seems like the Eagles just give up. I don't know what they're thinking over there in Philly. But I think they'll make it close, but I'll go with the Panthers in this one. So thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a like, and comment your picks, and have a nice Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of food. Have a nice day.